Hey everyone, this is Sarthak from the Career Edge team, and I'm here to talk about what exactly do we offer in our business school mentorship program. So we have two different offerings in this. One is GMAT coaching, and the other is one-to-one mentorship for essays, application form, and interviews for business schools like ISB, Wharton, Stanford, INSEAD, LBS, Rotman, etc. So I'll firstly talk about the GMAT coaching and what exactly do we provide in this. So this is a 2.5 months long intensive end-to-end GMAT coaching program. The classes are live. They happen on Zoom. They happen thrice a week on Tuesdays, Thursdays, and Saturdays. And I'll talk more about what do we do in these classes, the study material, all of that. But I believe before that, it's very important to talk about who is teaching you in this program, right? So Mr. Paramjeet Das sir is the verbal faculty. He has been teaching students for the last 10 years broadly, and he has himself scored a 770 on the GMAT multiple times. And on the quant side, Mr. Gaurav Jain sir will be teaching you if you sign up for this program. He has been teaching students for the last 10 years and he has scored a 760 on the exam multiple times. Now, when it comes to what exactly do we do, right? So it's live, online, Zoom based coaching. The duration of the program is broadly 2.5 months, and the classes happen thrice a week. And our intent is to make sure that we are teaching you from scratch, right? So we assume that you are someone who has not taken the GMAT before and you don't know what the syllabus is, which is why we firstly teach you concepts and then we make you practice a lot of questions, right? So just to give you an example, let's say the classes happen thrice a week, which they do. So it's Tuesdays 8 to 10 p.m. IST, Thursdays 8 to 10 p.m. IST, and Saturdays 5 to 7 p.m. IST on Zoom. And even if we miss a class, we record it on the go and we give access to you later on. And if you have any doubts, you can reach out to the faculty on the WhatsApp group that we create without any intermediary. You can just straight away tag them, ask them questions on any concept that you're not able to understand or any question which is troubling you. With respect to how do we teach you, let's take an example. Let's say the first class of the batch is a quant class and it's on coordinate geometry. So what Gaurav sir, who's the quant faculty, what he'll do is he'll record a 15-20 minute long video which introduces you to the subtopic, and he gives that video to you before the class. You watch that. Now let's say it's a Tuesday, and once you enter the live class in the first half, Gaurav sir will do a thorough deep dive of all the concepts, properties, theories of coordinate geometry relevant for the GMAT that you need to know. He'll do that with you first, which is concepts. And after that, in the second half of the live class, he'll practice questions with you on coordinate. And after the class, he'll give you post-class assignments and assessment questions on coordinate geometry along with solutions. And if you have any doubts, you can ask them live in the next class or in the next doubt solving session, or you can ask them on the WhatsApp group or on a one-to-one basis, whatever works for you. So this is how we go about it, right? Which is subtopic by subtopic, and our approach is a pre-read to introduce you to the concepts, then theory, then practice, and then more practice. So we give you assignment questions for that subtopic after each and every class, and we have a similar approach, let's say, for the verbal section also. So we spend 2.5 months in following this approach of concepts first and then practice and then more practice to cover the entirety of the syllabus, which is verbal and quant. Both classes happen in parallel. So you can, let's say, have 2 verbal classes in a week and 1 quant class, or 2 quant classes in a week and 1 verbal class. And if, let's say, you miss a class or you join late, you can definitely get the recording, which we share on the WhatsApp group that we create. And there is no intermediary, no email-based doubt solving mechanism. The faculty are added on the same group. You can just tag them, ask them questions straight away and instantly, and they'll reply to you almost always instantly. And with respect to the study material, right? So all study material with respect to GMAT official guides, practice questions, 6 mocks, as well as faculty's own curated questions, concept notes, all of that from end to end will be given to you in a soft copy format. So our assurance is that you don't need to buy anything or hunt for resources or questions to practice or mocks to attempt beyond the program. Everything will be provided to you. So with respect to mentorship, it's live. It's by people who have been there and done that, who have aced the exam before. It's in a small sized batch of 10-15 students, not more than that. And all study material is given to you from our end. You don't need to buy anything extra. And it's a 2.5 months long program. After the program is completed, you can take a buffer of, let's say, 2 weeks to revise everything, give the mocks. And if, let's say, you're not scoring as well as you expected to, you can consult with the faculty, rewatch the recordings of the live sessions of topics where you're having the most problem, and you can reattempt the question sets. And then, let's say, you can book an exam date. So that's the intent of GMAT coaching. And with respect to the second part now, which is one-to-one mentorship, I'll take an example here also. So the intent is to help you write your application, which includes everything, which is essays, work experience pointers, awards, achievements, activities, SOPs, and then prepare for mock interviews and tackle questions in the interviews. All of that is covered in this one-to-one mentorship, which means everything beyond the GMAT is covered in this part of things, which is the second offering that we have. So let's take an example. Let's say you're preparing for ISB, Indian School of Business. Let's say I'm your mentor, right? So, and you enroll with us. So what we'll do is, I'll create a Google Doc and I'll share it with you. And in the first call, what I'll do is I'll do a thorough profile analysis, which means I'll figure out what our strengths are, what our weaknesses are, what we need to work on before we submit the application. Once that is done, then we note down the essay questions there, topic by topic. Let's say ISB has 2 essays and it does have 2 essays. So we'll write the essays together. I'll write the essays for you, with you, in one-to-one live Zoom sessions, right? Where you are the mentee, I am the mentor. And when it comes to essay writing, it's not an easy process, right? So initially we'll brainstorm, we'll figure out which work episode of yours or which life story do we have to talk about. Then once we decide on that, I write it with you together in the one-to-one Zoom sessions. I write it for you, and then we edit it, sleep over it, reiterate it. Once we are done with the essay drafts, I'll also help you in getting a second opinion on that by sharing your essay draft with somebody who's an ISB alum who I know from my network, right? So first I'll write the essay for you, then I'll get it reviewed from a couple of alums of the same school which you're targeting. Then once we are done with the essays, which forms the majority of the effort in the application, I'll write the work experience pointers for you and with you in the live Zoom sessions. And the Zoom sessions are not capped, right? I am there with you in the form of live mentorship as well as offline feedback on WhatsApp and email, as long as you need me, right? So for some people, it takes a lot of time to brainstorm and then write the essays, right? So that flexibility is there because the sessions are not capped. And once the essays are done and the other parts of the application are done, we submit the application. Now let's say we get an interview call from ISB, right? So then what I'll do is I'll firstly help you in figuring out what all questions they can ask us in the interview basis our unique context and aspirations. Then I'll help you in figuring out the answer that we should have to each and every of these questions. Then I'll do 2 to 3 mock interviews with you to help you figure out how your delivery was, how you were speaking, how was it landing with me as a listener. So firstly, for the mock interview prep, I help you in figuring out the content. Then I help you in figuring out the delivery of that content. Both are equally important. So that is what we do in one-to-one mentorship for business schools, which is end-to-end live mentorship, right from writing your essays to other components of the application to then mock interviews once we get an interview call, right? And we do this process for schools like ISB, BITSOM, Masters Union. Outside India, we do this for Canadian schools like McGill, York, Rotman. In Europe, we do this for schools like INSEAD, LBS. Beyond Europe, in USA, we do these things for schools like Tepper, Cornell, Darden, Wharton, and we have mentors from these schools. So it's one-to-one live mentorship to help you and to handhold you in your journey beyond the GMAT for essays, application, as well as interviews. That's what we offer in the second part of the offering. So it's a full stack end-to-end business school mentorship offering that we have, where we firstly help you in getting coached by GMAT faculty who have been there and done that. And once you have your GMAT score in place, then if you want, we can help you with your essays, interviews, and application by getting you aligned with mentors who are alumni of these schools, right? So, and these two offerings are exclusive, right? You can opt for either of these two or both. That totally depends on your use case. So, if this really fits with what you are looking at, would be happy to chat with you. Feel free to go to the register now button. I'll reach out to you personally, and I'll first do a profile evaluation for you to help you figure out which schools you should target, what GMAT you should target, all of that. So looking forward to chatting with you. Thank you.